Upstreet? This video is for April week 1. We are in a new month and we have a new life app, and that life app is humility. Putting others first by giving up what you think you deserve. And our memory verse for this month is, don't do anything only to get ahead. You're going to make the safe motion like in baseball. Don't do it because you are proud. Then you're going to make the safe motion like don't do it. And then stand with your chest puffed out. Instead, be humble. Give a bow and then motion like you first. Value others more than yourselves. So step back to show that you're letting someone else go first. And that's Philippians 2:3. So don't do anything only to get ahead. Don't do it because you are proud. Instead, be humble. Value others more than yourselves. Philippians 2:3. So this first week, we are going to hear the story of Jesus washing the disciples' feet. And this whole month is going to be taking us up to and through Easter and talking about how Jesus showed humility. So our bottom line for this week is I can put others first by serving them. So make sure all of your kids this week should get a parent cue to send home for the month and also a memory verse magnet card. Make sure they all get that. All right, so for this week, feet first. Again, really try your absolute hardest to be here at 8:30 and at 10:30, depending on which service you're serving in, so that you can get together, pray for the kids and the families. Especially this month of April is going to be a huge month. People coming back to church, people coming for the first time to try it out. So praying for those families and kiddos, and then just making sure that you've got everything together and that you're ready in your small group for when the doors open at 8:40 and 10:40. So when kids start to come in, you're going to play with toys, get to know their names, ask about their week, and then you're going to ask them what's the biggest mess they've ever seen. So how did the mess happen? Who cleaned it up? Do they think the person liked cleaning it up? And why did they do it? Talking about messes. Of course kids are going to like that. And then your interactivity starting at 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock is going to be, that's gross. And so what you're going to do is you're going to have the kids come up with a list of gross foods or foods that make a big mess, like salsa or chili with beans or guacamole or moldy cheese. You pooped? Yeah. Oh, speaking of gross things, yum. Okay, I'll be right there. Mom life, right? Okay, and then you're going to give each kid a blank piece of paper and some markers and just let them draw the grossest foods that they can think of. So, okay, don't ride the bike. I'll change your butt in just a second, okay? Okay. And if you don't have time for them to draw it, then you guys can just talk about gross food. So then you're going to say, those are some pretty gross pictures or some pretty gross foods, and I wouldn't want to clean up any of that, and I definitely wouldn't want to eat it. Today in large group, we're going to hear about a man who took care of the worst job at a meal, even though he was the most important person. So, and then during large group, again, just sit with your kids, worship with them, help them engage in the story. And I'm pretty sure this week we are going to have a video story instead of a live storyteller. So just be prepared for that. Then when you get back, you're going to play a game called Here's What Happened. And you're going to gather the kids to sit in a circle. Trip, please leave him alone. And you're going to have a set of numbers that are laminated. And you're going to have a huge bag. We don't have them yet because the water beads aren't ready. But you're going to have a huge bag of water beads. So if you don't know what those are, they're really fun to play. And you're going to put all the numbers in a bag of water beads. And then what you're going to do is you're going to have kids reach into the bag and pull out a number. So don't everyone look. And hold on a second, Henry, I'm almost done. And if the number they pick isn't like 1, then they're going to put it back and pass the bag to the next kid. And they're going to pick until someone gets 1. And when that person gets the next number in the sequence, you're going to read the story from the activity page that corresponds with the numbers that they have drawn out of the bin. So, for instance, number 1 is going to say the disciples prepared the Passover meal. So these are all your little activity cards that are going to correspond with the numbers in the bag, okay? So you're going to go through all of the numbers, pulling them out of the bag, and the whole point of the water beads is they're kind of gross to feel, but they're kind of fun too. And then you're just going to say, so why did the disciples want a servant to wash their feet? And see if the kids remember, but then the answer was they didn't want to do it themselves. That's the servant's job to wash someone's feet. So the disciples thought that a servant should be the one to wash their feet because it was a gross job. They thought they were all too good to be washing dirty feet, and it was a job for someone who was not as special as they were. But what Jesus showed them was that we can put others first by serving them. And his decision to wash their feet was a way to show them that even a king is not too good to serve other people. And then just tell about a time when when someone did something for you to serve you. So maybe it was just yesterday my husband cleaned up the kitchen. It was so wonderful. I came home and it was clean, and that was such a serving, loving thing to do. So serving others makes us more like Jesus because he served us. Then you're going to play Duck, Duck, Verse. And because it's the first week in the month, definitely practice the memory verse several times with the motions for the kids. And then you have a bin down on the bottom shelf of your cart that has a bunch of duckies in it. So before you start, make sure that you turn all the duckies over so that the kids don't see the numbers. And then they're all just going to pick a duck out of the bin. And all of the ducks either have the number 1, 2, or 3 on the bottom. And those are going to tell which group they're in. So all the 1s are going to sit together, all the 2s are going to sit together, and all the 3s are going to sit together. Oh, that's going to be really fun. Tell them not to squeeze it. And so what you're going to do is all the kids with a 1, guys, I'm making the video. So either don't squeeze the duckies or go out in the hall and squeeze the duckies. Thank you. Come back. Good job. All the 1s are going to say, don't do anything only to get ahead. Trick. All the 2s are going to say, don't do it because you are proud. Instead, be humble. All the 3s are going to say, value others more than yourselves. Philippians 2:3. So you might have to help each group member with their part, but when all 3 groups have said their portion of the verse 2 or 3 times, let them put all the ducks back in, pick a new duck, and then they get to be in a new group, and you can just keep doing that as long as time allows or they're interested. And just make sure, don't let the kids take the ducks home because we're going to need them for next week. And then you're just going to say, so what does it mean to say don't do anything to get ahead? And kind of ask the kids, see what their answers are for what that means. What does it mean to say don't do it because you are proud? Instead, be humble. See what the kids have to say about that. And then say, what does it mean to value others more than yourselves? And see what they have to say about that. So if we follow what God's word says, we will be more like Jesus. And this verse can help us remember that I can put others first by serving them. So work on memorizing that verse this week so that it can help you remember to do these 3 things every day. And then to pray, just ask anyone if they can tell the group what Jesus did for the disciples in the story. So hopefully they remember that Jesus washed their feet. So then you guys are going to be a little daring here. You're going to ask all the kids to take off their shoes and socks and sit barefoot in a circle. And then you're going to have them sit with their knees bent up so that their feet are kind of in the middle of the circle, and then that's how you're going to pray. So you're going to say, Jesus, thank you for showing us that no one is too good to serve others, not even you. Thank you for coming to serve us, and please show us how to serve one another. Help us this week to remember that I can put others first by serving them, and show us ways that we can serve others and show them our humility. Thank you for loving us enough to serve us. Amen. And then as their parents come, tell them to ask their kids or have the kids tell their parents why they took their shoes off during prayer time and what the slimy stuff was that they played with today. All right? So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for serving this month. I know it's going to be a doozy. There's going to be a lot going on. It's going to be crazy, but guys, it's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. Kids are going to get to hear about Jesus for the very first time ever. I'm so glad we have such an amazing team of leaders. Don't forget, if they didn't get their toolboxes from last week, have them pick up their toolbox before they leave this week. Thank you guys for serving, and I'll see you on Sunday.